everyone, my name is Jennifer and welcome to my channel. To date, I've lost a total of 140 pounds starting in January 2024, which I was 325 pounds at that time. And to date, I'm down to 185 and still going. Today, we're going to be discussing a very important topic: how to properly use GLP-1 medication, as well as we're going to delve into what you should avoid when using it, as well as insights from another user who I followed, Glitter and Lasers, personal experiences with it. If you're looking to understand more about GLP-1s, you've come to the right place. Let's get started. Now, a quick word from my non-sponsor. This isn't a paid ad. Element never asked me to talk about it. The thing is, I can't stop talking about it. It's just that good. No fillers, no sugars, just electrolytes. Doesn't spike my insulin, which is amazing. And it's perfect for my lifestyle. My favorite flavors are citrus and raspberry, and sometimes I mix them together. You know, I don't need to be sponsored for me to tell you how much I love Element. This has been a game changer for me. I have this all year long, and during the winter time, when I really want something warmer, I get their chocolate medleys and throw this in my coffee. No other sugars, no creamers, just this, and it keeps me hydrated while also staying warm. Maybe one day they'll call me, but until then, cheers to staying hydrated. And if you want to know more, down in the description is the link. And well, the more of you that go, maybe they'll call me. If not, I'm just going to keep enjoying it. Welcome back. So, GLP-1s, or glucagon-like peptide 1, is a type of medication often prescribed to manage type 2 diabetes. It helps to regulate blood sugar levels by enhancing insulin secretion, inhibiting glucagon release, and slowing gastric emptying. This can also lead to weight loss, which is why it's sometimes used for off-label obesity management. The original use of this was meant to help type 1 diabetics because, well, they can't produce their own insulin, and in the process of doing that, their systems were having issues. What the medication actually does is when you eat, it slows down your stomach's wanting to release food. So it doesn't process food nearly as quickly. And in doing so, it's kind of a slow all-day release of food versus just hey, I've processed everything in there, I'm empty, you're hungry again. Now, you don't get hungry nearly so often because your stomach's still semi-full, which means the next time you eat, you get full faster, which helps you eat less. In return, it also keeps your glucose down. So instead of spiking glucose every time you eat something, it keeps your glucose at a lower level, which helps your insulin sensitivity become more sensitive and adjust accordingly. So, before starting any GLP-1, it's crucial to consult with your healthcare provider. They will ensure that it's the right medication for you and provide you with the appropriate dosage and instructions on how to use it. GLP-1 is usually administered via injection. Make sure you understand how to properly inject the medication. Your healthcare provider will demonstrate the technique, and you should follow the instructions carefully to ensure the medication is delivered correctly. There are 3 different sites on where you can inject it, and I do have another video on TikTok where you can see the different sites that I've used and why. You don't necessarily need to eat a well-balanced diet, as there's really no such thing. Many dietitians will try to tell you things like the carnivore diet is a fad or a not sustainable diet, that you need fiber, fruits, veggies, and whatnot. I'm not here to convince you of a particular diet that's best, even though carnivore has worked for me, and it's been amazing. It is our main diet for thousands of years and before the invention of most modern foods. What I am here to tell you is that anything that is processed sugar, flour, anything that doesn't come from the ground or animal-based raw can cause all kinds of health issues. Many of the side effects people deal with come from processed and sugary foods that they are eating, not the medication. The medication is doing what it does and will make processing those kinds of foods a problem. Things not to do when using a GLP-1 medication. Do not skip doses. Number 1, very important. Skipping doses can lead to fluctuations in your blood sugar levels and help reduce the effectiveness of the medication. These medications only have a half-life of a few days, which means that by day 4 of taking it, the most effectiveness part of it is gone and you're at the very end of it. And by the end of the week, you're going to notice that you have almost no cognitive feeling of it in your system. Basically, the hunger pains kind of come back a little bit. The craving for food kind of comes back a little bit. So those are things to keep in mind. By the end of 2 weeks, it's pretty much completely out of your system. Don't miss follow-up appointments with your doctor. Regular check-ins with your healthcare provider are essential to monitor your progress and make any necessary adjustments to your treatment plan. These medications start at low levels, very light. For Zepbound, it's 2.5 milligram. For Wegovy, it's 0.25, and they ramp up 0.50 or 5, 0.75 or 7.5, and so forth. So by keeping follow-up appointments with your doctor and you can discuss on when you're ready to move up or where you should stay. Some doctors want you to move up every single month until you're at the max and then stay there. Other doctors, like mine, I stayed on the 2.5 for a couple months, and then I moved up to 5, where I stayed for a few months, and then eventually moved up to 7.5 and so forth. I still haven't hit the max a little over a year later. Now, do not ignore side effects. Be aware of potential side effects such as nausea, vomiting, or dizziness.
What is it?
If you experience any severe or persistent side effects, talk to your healthcare provider immediately. Now, in truth, most people don't really deal with much in the way of side effects. It's going to depend on a few things. The first week, you're going to get some. I don't know anybody that hasn't had any. Even I had a slight headache my first week, but my overall diet, I had pretty well gone keto at the same time as switching over. If you're eating sugars, processed foods, things like that, you're going to end up with a lot of side effects, some more than others. Within 3 weeks, most of the side effects are gone. As long as they're not severe and you can power through them, then at the end of 3 weeks, they're pretty well, your system's adjusted and you'll feel pretty normal. If you can cut out most of those other foods during that time, hydrate more, you'll notice very minimum to no side effects during that time. After that, it's really going to depend on a few other factors, but that's something you can talk to your doctor about. Let's discuss Glitter and Lasers' experience with GLP-1s. Anna, aka Glitter and Lasers, is a popular social media personality who has openly shared her journey with GLP-1 medications. She has highlighted the importance of working closely with the healthcare provider, even though she doesn't actually follow the advice about following a well-structured treatment plan, and because she failed to do so, she had no real success with it and promptly dropped it. Glitter and Lasers emphasizes the need for patience and consistency, as the benefit of a GLP-1 medication can take time to manifest. Unfortunately for her, she didn't heed her own advice and to do what she needed to get the best and full results from using them. She also discusses the lifestyle changes she claims she made, such as adopting a balanced diet and regular exercise to complement the medication's effects, as her lack of any progress and her stopping the medication is testament to. By maintaining a high-carb diet, you can override the medication ability to reduce your appetite, and you can still overeat calories and sugars, negating any real benefits from the medication. One of her sponsors, Starbucks, which she drinks daily, has as much as 600 calories and 80 grams of sugar in one drink. You're drinking a meal's worth of calories and a week's worth of sugar just to have that one drink. And if you add a croissant with that, now you're adding 900 calories and over 90 grams of sugar. The medication can't fix that kind of harm to the body. It'll help, but not that. See, unfortunately, Glitter and Lasers didn't like that it was reducing her ability to eat the food she loved. And she didn't like the constant nausea and other things that came with it because of the way she was eating. As I've said before, if you keep doing what you've done, you're going to get what you've always got. Initially, she lost a ton of weight. She went from I think 450 down to 330 pounds. But then she decided to go back to eating as she always did and using it as an excuse of, oh, it's genetics, oh, it's, her body, oh, it's lipedema. I have lipedema. And if you've seen some of my pictures, that lipedema is in the form of a very saggy underarm and saggy legs where it's more liquid than fat now. It is fat. Lipedema is fat. But the problem is the way the body stores that fat is different than a normal fat cell. And because of that, it doesn't burn that fat the way it's supposed to. So even though you lose weight, there are people that are anorexic on top and their legs are just ballooned out. That's lipedema. not what glitter and lasers has. She has some in her system, but getting lipedema surgery is not going to fix all her issues. Lipedema surgery is in effect having liposuction done, but instead of pulling out the regular fat cells themselves, it's pulling out all that liquid with a little bit of the fat cells. I mean, there's going to be some still. So that way it can sculpt a little bit better and reduce that. A lot of people who have or think they have fibromyalgia may have lipedema. That was my issue. I get pain in my upper arms when you touch, pain in my thighs, pain in my lower back if you're touching me. That's a symptom of fibromyalgia, but it's also a symptom of lipedema. And in my case, it is lipedema. So that's something I'm working with my insurance to try to get them to cover, unsuccessfully to date, and that's another story I'll go into later, but that's something I'm trying to work on. Unfortunately, she's using her money that she makes as a social media influencer to go get these surgeries that aren't fixing anything. She's had multiple in the last year, and if you compare, and I'll put them up here, her from last year to this year, after 4 surgeries, she's still heavier and bigger than she was when she started. That tells you it's not lipedema causing her issues, that's her eating habits. The GLP-1s can help you with that. They really can. Using a GLP-1 medication can be a transformative experience when done correctly. By consulting your doctor, following the prescribed dosage, and monitoring your progress, you can effectively manage your condition. Remember, to avoid pitfalls such as skipping doses or consuming high-fat meals, take heed from her journey and approach your treatment with dedication and care. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more informative videos.